Hi beautiful people, welcome back to another video. I hope you're doing great. As usual, get straight into the video of the day, but please do well to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't while we get straight into it.
Things my ex-husband said to me that I never realized were abusive because he was a good guy and never put a hand on me. And it took me getting into a healthy relationship to realize it was in fact abuse. Now, after being married for 2 years to a good guy, I'm all of a sudden healing from 15 years of abuse. Let's get into it. We're gonna jump ahead to year 6 when I got pregnant. Number 1, when I was pregnant, he told me I'm probably gonna have to work harder at motherhood because it's not gonna come natural to me. Okay, that's your opinion. Number 2, when I was about 8 months pregnant, he did not want to touch me because my big belly grossed him out. Number 3, the day I went into labor, I was in the hallway with my IV thing and I'm walking up and down the hallways, having contractions left and right. I stopped mid-hallway, grabbed onto the railing, having a contraction, and he said to me, "You do know Mary rode a donkey in the desert while having contractions. It can't be that bad." You're right. Number 4, after being awake for over 24 hours, not having anything to eat, and going through a 14-hour labor, here we are 2 hours after my daughter is born, and I am barely staying awake. I'm in a lot of pain. And I am holding this brand new baby girl that won't stop crying because I have no milk yet. So she hasn't eaten. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I am holding her. She's crying and I'm like trying to soothe her and I am literally dozing off. He was trying to sleep and the crying was getting on his nerves. He came over and yanked her from my arms and said, "You can't do anything right." And the last one I'm going to say is the day after she was born, I was craving Chick-fil-A. So I asked him if he would go get some for lunch. He said yes. So I told the nurse I did not want the hospital lunch because I'm getting food elsewhere. I sent him to go get Chick-fil-A. I had visitors in and out, so I'm not texting him or anything, but he had never texted me. And I noticed he'd been gone for 2 hours when Chick-fil-A was just down the road. He got back. He was empty-handed, no food. I said, "Where's the Chick-fil-A?" "Oh, they were closed." "You didn't get me anything else?" "No." "What were you doing for 2 hours?" The look on his face was, "I need sympathy from you." So I'm concerned. He said, "I sat in the parking lot for 2 hours wishing I could just leave you and the baby here because I can't deal with this crying." That is where my spiral began. If you want to hear more of these, let me know. I
don't even want to hear more of that. Like, come on, I am boiling. My blood is boiling right now, literally. But I need to calm down. I need to calm down. Did you notice something? Did you notice that most of the issues she mentioned, or all the issues that she mentioned, were ranging from when she got pregnant up until delivery? Like when she got pregnant and she delivered the daughter and postpartum. That's what I noticed about this video. And I couldn't help but wonder, why would a man treat the mother of his child like this and say some nasty things to the mother of his child and also the baby, his baby? Did he really want a baby? Did he ever dream of being a father? If you recall, she stated that they waited 6 years, or they had a baby 6 years after. And I can't help but question, why the long wait? Or were they TTCing before? Or did they actually wait or were patient for 6 years, or kept delaying having a baby intentionally for good 6 years? There's just so many questions in my head. Were they unsure if they wanted a child or not? Was the man even okay with becoming a parent? Did they discuss these things before marriage? It's just so many questions. See, believe it or not, the most trying times in a marriage is when you eventually bring a baby into your marriage. Parenthood, it actually causes a lot of strain on your marriage. That is why you need to be very intentional about who you're doing these things with, who you want to become, who you're getting married to, who would eventually become the father to your child or the mother to your child. Also, forget he sweeps me off my feet, put that aside first. Would he eventually continue to sweep you off your feet after you have a child or children. Way one can identify a good marriage is when you've had children and there's this peace that you've always had. It still remains there. Yes, there'll be issues and whatsoever, but it should never warrant anybody saying nasty things to the other party or your partner. It should not warrant that. The stuff this man said to his wife stayed in her head and it would for life. Honestly, yes, she would heal, but she's not gonna forget that. She's not. The truth is that childbearing exposes all those weak areas in your marriage. It just adds pressure to those areas that were already fragile. Once you bring a child into this world, it just causes that strain. So if your marriage had a weak spot, it exposes it more. After you have a child, newborns do not care about the romance that you have with your husband or your wife. They just want to be attended to. They just want breast milk. They want your finances. They want your time. They want everything from you. They would deprive you of sleep. It's just an overwhelming experience, especially as newborns and especially on the woman. Yes, it just increases your stress hormones. It spikes it to 150. Then your wife is feeling unattractive and it seems like she doesn't have that freedom anymore. Her personal freedom is lost, and you dare say these things to her at such vulnerable moments. Come on, women, you just need to be with a man that understands this, what childbirth does to a woman's body and her hormones and her brain and everything. It takes a whole lot from you. So you need to be with a man that understands it. If not, it's actually not worth it. The woman feels very cheated because it takes a lot more on her than on the man. Yes, that's what we're called to do in this world as women. And you just need to be with a man that understands it. And that's just the bare minimum we're asking from this men. Just understand and treat us right at that moment, at that instant. I know some men go through the financial and the emotional or mental pressure also, but the hard truth is that it cannot be compared to what your wife is going through, especially as regards child bearing. It's incomparable. So the least you can do is be kind to your partner, to your wife. Come on, it's not a big deal. It's not that hard, okay? I'm just glad she's happy now because those things that he said were really, really, really nasty. I'm glad she found a better person. Yes, that was emotional abuse at its highest or at its peak or whatever. It's not only when you lay your hands on your wife or your partner, when you're physically violent with this person, that it's termed as abuse. You are also abuse You could also abuse your partner emotionally, mentally, verbally, and sometimes it's even worse. I wouldn't lie. It felt like he was irritated by her presence and the presence of the child also, and it was only why for her to leave such toxicity, because she was even putting the baby's well-being at risk, staying with such man. It's not even safe enough for the poor child. It's not, and it's so ill ill. Anyways, I've said enough. Let me know what you think about this one. I'm sure nobody can be in support of the man. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. There's no excuse to say those nasty things to your wife, especially after she had your child. Come on, there's no excuse. Anywho's, that brings me to the end of my video. Thank you so much for sticking with me to the end of this video. Please do well to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I'll see you again in another one. Okay, bye.